I hope there'll be utility in play. A drone perhaps from Yumpy that's fired through to clear that angle. If they dry peek it, they're in trouble.
I think they expected aggression. Like, Sociable is pretty much just watching, and it is the bait. The run out, perfectly timed from the side of BBL, knowing where that man was all Sociable needed. As said, this chamber op from him has been fantastic so far. The rest of the team looking to try and get back in, but again, we see those vines put into place, running through them. Does damage, but also the slows is just not worth the risk. And now they have to try and retake this 4v5, but they do have themselves a lockdown. That's the one saving grace.
There it is, put into play on cue. The idea here, though, catch those players as they fade back towards long. Surely, look who's stepping up, though. Sociable is walking in for the kills. He's got the TP to get out, and he might be caught by it in the end. It looks like he will, too. In fact, picked up. But they've got cover. They're behind the wall. The defuse, though, the problem. Already stopped with the grab well in play. The kills, though, go to Cloud as all 5 are found. Leading by example with an ace under his belt. GX continue to close the gap.
There could have been so many players in this game to get the first ace in VCT EMEA 2025, and no other than Cloud, someone who I'm sure has been up there before in the statistics. This was one they desperately needed. The hero plays as his teammate looks to defuse, and again, it comes right down to the wire for the side of GX, but a couple of rounds like that, that's exactly what I'm talking about from their side. Get the blood pumping. We've already seen them do exactly this. 4 rounds down, win them out, go to overtime, and just close it. Waiting, and the aggression of Loon could be something that bites them in the back if he's able to hold on to it. The problem is it leaves back fairly isolated, only having a Spectre to play with, but with rotation slowly coming in, I was going to say maybe he has some support. It's not to be there. Loon is now dealt with, and in fact, they are slaughtering the remaining BBL players. Only Sociable is anywhere near the action. I'm surprised he's still going with the sniper. I fully expected maybe a change up. It doesn't matter, though. Maybe that's why he just finds 3 in a matter of seconds. Ignore me. Use whatever gun you feel comfortable with.
Defuse starts. They have another piece of utility to stop it. The extra tap. They're going to swing straight into Sociable. He's landed another, and not quite taking the kill, but he'll get the ace in the end. Every piece of the puzzle put together by this man. And in a round with next to no investments. Tom, you said you didn't want to see them die to the sniper. I think he did enough. That wasn't even the best sniper they had.
Oh, the first ace was fairly quickly followed by the second ace. This is absurd. He's not using that gun in any manner for which it was designed, but hey, I guess that's why he's not using the headhunter. That didn't land. But what an insane way to get home the 10th round. We talked about the youngsters within the team, but this man's Sociable.
Well, showstopper online for Philo if things get a little hairy, but Team Liquid on the attack have a lot of weaknesses. 3 pistols brought to bear. The Sheriffs will look to take some heads, while the Rifles look to clean up. For Movistar Koi, this is their chance to equalize.
Keiko, though, again, this time taking up the role of the duelist. He's been given a rifle for a reason. He only had the opportunity for a couple of them, but this man's hands had to be holding one. He's been so strong. Looks to do more. Kamik will fall. A trade back of sorts, and still an abundance of utility for Shados to try and clear this site. There are so many players up close that his util could be everything.
Oh, they've cleared out these players. Spammed Patatek as he moved out of position of the guided salvo, but unfortunately, they haven't found the kill. And as a result, Patatek's there to take the hit off the showstopper. The follow-up from Keiko with all 5 under his belt, taken from the top side and putting them on top marks 12-10. 2 chances to close this out for Team Liquid.
27 of 13, by the way. Like, he had some crazy performances on the Jet, but he might be getting close to some sort of new record, because this is so impressive on an individual level. It just looks like he's so comfortable.
You know what I love about Keiko? The old Angel strat used to be you put all your smokes down, and then you run in. Here he pops one smoke and goes, that'll do. That'll do, I'm in.
It seems like both teams have had the same idea. An early battle towards that C site. A lot of utility put into play. Nightfall expended. Tomazi shoots the one thing he doesn't want to, but because the players are blinded, it doesn't matter. He's been able to hold back in that corner, and even with the wraparound from Sugetsu, it's only going to be the one.
Yeah, it was a good attempt to use these players deafened up to TP in behind, but not gonna work out with low HP on Static.
Ace?
Should be a formality just to take this one down. It's Clouds, 5th on the board. The ace
Again.
to secure the round.
He had an ace in the first series as well.
Yeah.
At that time it was on Pearl, but it just seems like there's a few things right now in the season that are inevitable, and one of them is that Cloud is going to get himself an ace. 14-4. Definitely had a quieter first map individually, but I do think those sort of games are going to be expected when you're taking over that mantle as IGL, but there's no doubt the individual brilliance of this man. Bro, I love how the only word he was allowed to say was bro. See how they managed to respond. They do now have the Nokomon Cosmic Divide available, and again, it looks like an early brawl.
It is indeed, and it's Camo going down. Keiko still holding ground, and Kamek stepping up for the fight. Another big push early on from Team Liquid.
Hello.
It's not ended up in the best position. Florescent pops off with those last two. That puts her up to 4 kills already, and it's Nats, the player who clutched the previous round, now meeting his demise. Florescent answers back. A big clutch from Liquid, and then an ace from Florescent in return.
It just puts a smile on your face. You're looking at a player, the first to make it from game changers into the league, acing versus Team Liquid, a mainstay within the VCT. And there are players on the other side as well that you're talking about highly experienced, a minimum of about a year within the league, if not more. What a big round from her individually, trading out so many of those early successful aggressive plays. And now, well, I said it wasn't a killing blow last round. Look at the damage that has done. By golly, they've done it. They're at the B site.
Not yet. They've started outside the B site, Tom. Perhaps it's 12 rounds B. Who knows what Fnatic have in store for us, as you were alluding to, yes. And as the desk touched on, 12 rounds on the A site. It was quite the consistent affair, but the spike is here. It's made it to B early on, as have Fnatic crossing the site now. But it will not last long on the site with Xeus around, Sheriff in hand, and he's ripped 2 heads clean off at a captain. So he's in trouble. That's the pick right back. Chronicle, he's been putting up big numbers on this breach, and he's not looking to change the script anytime soon. Back to a 3v3. It's winnable for Fnatic, Tom, but they have lost a lot of HP.
There's a reason this guy's the #1 rated breach, and although his utility's good, his shots are better. The thing is, though, they're up against Xeus, looking to take over the round. He might just even start it with an ace! There were rumors that Fnatic wanted to get this man, and the first round he plays against them, he gets an ace!
He's giving them good reason to regret not picking him up. My goodness! An ace, and the tone is set for this map. We saw Fnatic go to the other side of the map. We saw them get on site, and there was a little bit of a hiccup. Chronicle, a player who's delivered, steps up yet again for the double, but it doesn't matter in the face of this brilliance. A young guy on the server, and the only kill for his team. Kayak is again in this position, but because of the aggressive A main spot, they're not quite there with the same level of info gathering. They don't know that he is wrapping up in heaven. It might not matter. Xeus tries to take matters into his own hands, playing quite aggressive indeed. Tucked in behind the box, Alpha comes around and a nasty surprise awaits him. Xeus now looking for a little bit more. Decoy sent out, faking the steps as heaven attempts to be reclaimed. Mr. Fallen loses his life for that though, as Kayak claims the kill himself and Crashy so desperately low, and Xeus quickly dispatches them. It's Chronicle and Boaster left in it, but the operator rings out. So does Zeus's weapon for another ace! He's dug them out of a deep, deep hole, and 7-5 at the half.
It took 2 aces for them to get 5 rounds. It really shows that this guy is on a different level in terms of the individual ability. But I'll be honest with you, Mitch, I think they're going to need a whole lot more if they're going to turn this round in half number 2.
camera is destroyed.
Now is where we need to see a change to the script. They can't start off with a 3-0 deficit and taking down the lurk of Nats. That's not only him going down, but that's also so much control. He's normally sat with his cam across the map watching for any pushes where he can't do that anymore.
No, and those traps down, flanks open, you have absolutely no protection. So it's straight into the site, and then they need more ground. That's what this push is all about. They're looking deep into the spawn for this fight, where Safe is under threat and eventually taken down. Keiko with the cover, and now this round has a huge advantage for Team Liquid. Well, that has quickly subsided. Derke on the back of, oh, he's been stunned as well. He's got to fall back. Time ticking down, lower and lower. Les almost had the play, and in fact was Derke. I'm gonna need a replay, and then we can do it again. And you know what? Throw in a third one.
Well,
Holy.
it's finally come down to a point where the ace was so fast that the crowd didn't even get to call for it. This is why everyone was shocked when we saw this man leave. We talked about him again and again and again. There is no one else in the world that could do things like that on such a consistent basis. And well, the thing is, the round as a whole, anybody who went through the middle of the map died from the side of Vitality. The only thing that stood in Liquid's way was Derke. And unfortunately for them,